So Keith, it's a pleasure to be able to sit down and chat with you. So today we just sort of wanted to sort of learn more about your life as a Charlton fan. So for you, where did everything start?
January '68. I always loved football. I lived in Blackheath. I used to go to John Ball Primary School and kick a ball about on Blackheath. For some reason, my parents didn't want me interested in football. On the Saturday, they'd like me to go to cinema on Saturday mornings and things like that. I played once for John Ball Primary School against All Saints. That was a local derby and we lost 5-0. So I've never been good at football. In secondary school, I went to Addy and Staying Up in New Cross. That was mainly Chelsea, Millwall and all that. And then I met up with a bloke called John Goddard, known as Bubbles at the time. He said about, do you want to come to Charlton? So I did. January '68, Sheffield United at home, FA Cup, 3rd round. Lost 1-0. Sheffield United were in the top division. We were in the division below. Mick Jones scored for them, who went on to play for Leeds. Tony Curry played for them. But I loved it. And basically I've been going ever since. So I can't remember when I got my first season ticket, but it was about £5. Show me age. £5 to get in, but I loved it.
Yeah. So how old were you when you first went to that game then? Do you remember?
'68. I was 14.
14.
Yeah.
And was that going on your own or with your friends?
Started off with my friends, and then my brother started tagging along. He still goes occasionally. He's got a season ticket, but I don't sit with him. And we used to do away games on Lewis's away coaches. Before that, we used to make our own way to games, like go to Portsmouth and things like that, and Watford. It's easier to get to. But then we started going on Lewis's coaches. And you got to know people on the coach. The same people going to every game. So it was quite a bond. And Chris Slattery was the bloke in charge. And he had a ticket for about 15 people. And me and my brother got to know him and we joined his band, if you like. There was people like Les Turner, John Ingram, were upstairs, used to go. Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. And years later, we started a football club, LAC Rovers, Lewis away coaches. John was playing, people like Les Turner, who's sadly no longer with us. Not many are now. So, but yeah, it was a good turnout. It was good. It was a good environment.
Perfect. So obviously you went for quite a time home and away.
Yeah.
In your time as a fan, is there sort of one game in particular that you think is like the most memorable one, the one you remember most vividly?
Oh, it's got to be the Sunderland game in the playoff final, isn't it? So, Mendonca, Rufus, yeah, that's got to be the one. But, and the playoff against Leeds, Peter Shirtliff scoring twice. So I was up at Birmingham that night and it was murder getting home. But we were locked in a McDonald's after the game. So and then we managed to get a train home. They had to lay a train on for us. But yeah, Peter Shirtliff. Yeah.
And so obviously you talked quite a bit about obviously sort of the community that sort of developed around the club, and specifically for you it was the away travel. So I know you mentioned briefly before this interview about about Selhurst, but do you think that sort of community that you had, that sort of helped sort of get you through those sort of tougher times?
Selhurst to me was quite convenient because I was living in Earlsfield near Wimbledon. So it was quite easy for me to get a train to Earlsfield to Clapham Junction. Train, you got Fountainheath, Selhurst, Norwood Junction. So it was easy to get to, easier to get to from Charlton. But the environment and the crowds were terrible. So, I mean, thank God for Lenny Lawrence. I mean, he'd done a brilliant job. So, and the players he brought in, Pender and people like that, Mark Reed. So, but he did well for us.
Yeah.
But it's not the same environment.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind. We was only there one season. We went to Upton Park, and they treated us better than they did at Palace. So, I mean, we were ripped off at Palace. So, everything we did, we were contributing to their funds. So, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think it's sort of obviously taking the club out of where it's from originally and then moving into somewhere where there's already another club, an established fan base. That is sort of, I mean, it's not very common now, but obviously it must have been completely sort of alien for so many people. That probably explains why you didn't have any fans.
When you got a note in the programme saying this is your last game and we're going to Selhurst Park, I mean, the protest that day against Stoke, all right, we won that. I think Robert Lee scored for us. But no, it was hard to take. So, I mean, I can't remember the dates, but I've been at the Valley a long time. And to wrench myself to Selhurst, so I couldn't wait for us to come back here. Thank God for Roger Alwyn and the Valley Party.
Yeah.
Again, like people like Les Turner, Paul Ellis.
Shut door.
So people that getting through. I never went to any of the meetings.
Yeah.
But I supported them as much as I could.
Yeah. So obviously there was sort of, I understand there was a lot of protest at the time of that happening. Do you think that sort of attitude to the way things went back then sort of contributed to how all the protests sort of came later against like Roland de Châtelet, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we wanted someone that was Charlton through and through, not a cowboy, if you like. But you wanted a Charlton man.
Yeah.
So we're lucky at the moment with the board that we've got. So they're investing, they're helping, they're supporting. So we're pleased with that. We've had some crap chairman.
Yeah.
So.
So how do you think, obviously you mentioned briefly sort of how the current ownership are doing. So sort of over the past sort of like 5 years, how do you think the team have been doing, especially considering, well, for quite a while we were sort of lingering in League One for quite a long period of time.
Yeah,
it was about 5 years, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. I wondered if we was ever going to come out of that. It was always there or thereabouts. But thanks to Nathan Jones, at the end of last season, he managed to turn it round. And that day at Wembley, I was sitting with Alan, and it was brilliant. So it's a struggle this season, but if we survive this season, I'm confident of next season. So we know where our weaknesses are. So hopefully we can strengthen. But yeah, I'm confident of staying up. Even fall from bottom, that do me.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I think that about covers it. So thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us.
Thank you.